Welcome back to Building 1313 Lego. It's actually the 20th episode. The 19th one actually took over a few months because I've been working a lot and a lot of school stuff, so I didn't really get a chance to work on 1313 or design anything with Lego. So I'm actually really excited to get back into this because I have so many ideas I would like to do, and now I have more time to do that. I can actually accomplish what I've set out to do. The past few months I've bought some Lego, but not as much as I'd like to. Of course, of life stuff and other obligations you have to go toward. But over the next few weeks, I would like to order some massive amounts of Lego for actually kind of getting this kind of complete. But it's gonna, of course, gonna take at least the end of this year. That'd be nice. That's my goal, is to finish this. And of course, I would like it to be twice the height of this, at least. But right now, it's actually like, almost 2 feet tall. So that's pretty good height so far, considering that it's from each end of the table. It's about like 6 feet, I'd say. The nice thing about this, I can really go as high as I want to, at least to the ceiling, which is like 6 feet. But I really don't want to go that tall. That'd be amazing, but I really don't want to spend that much time and effort more than a year on 1313. I think a year and a half to 2 years is it's plenty for a mock. It's time to move on. Of course, I really don't want to take this apart, and there's no point I have to take it apart. It just takes up a lot of space. So this episode, I really want to get towards building this section up. That'd be really nice if I actually started to plate this whole second level off. I just have to look at what bricks I currently have in plates and Technic and see if I actually do that. But my first goal is to clean everything off because it's an absolute mess right now. Because when I'm built, I just kind of set things wherever, and it doesn't matter because eventually I clean it up later. But let's go build something in 1313. So this is where we left off last week. I thought this was a cool Easter egg of having this little construction guy kind of doing stuff, but absolutely hating his life right now. So I'll make sure to keep him in at least a section of the mock doing construction work. But this is a little overview of what everything is done. It's pretty messy right now, considering that I have some sorting bins right there, and then underneath I have a little bit more mess. Gotta clean up. Down there is pretty fine right now, but over there is it's a little messy too, so I have to clean that up as well. But that's my first goal. I should probably get that all cleaned up, so I at least have the ambition to kind of start somewhere. So let's go do that. So the first thing I actually do want to start on is actually the area where Fives dies. And if you guys remember, it's actually this scene where they go down to 1312 or something. Anakin and Rex. And there she is. So it's specifically this scene where you see all the crates all just shoved all over the place. And I really want to recreate that. Not 100% accurate, but just kind of recreate a bunch of crates. So let's go build those. So I've created a few crates that will be showcased in Five's death scene. Starting from the right, this one's probably my favorite because since it's the most detailed. I put a lot of effort into this one because might as well have one that looks really nice. Remember, I made at least 10 a piece of these, except this one because it takes so many pieces. This one was quite interesting. I like the amount of detail I put into it, and I in each one of them I made sure to make them a little bit different from one another. So on the sides I put some grills. On this one I put 1x2 jumper, which looks pretty good. This one is ordinary, just kind of tiles on the whole thing, which looks alright. It's more accurate to Star Wars in general. And to the left of this one's 4x4. It's alright. I only created one of these. I'm probably going to make a few more of these. But I thought it's a cool design. And very far left, it's just the generic kind of boring 1x4 pieces. Let's go see what it looks like in the mock. So we're coming back to this section where Five dies. I made sure to put him in this because I wanted to see a good scale to what everything else looks like. I must say it looks really astonishing right now. I just want to show off the little details I added into this. So I kind of spread them out right there. Some more boxes. I'll be talking about this in a second. There's a little support beams. But you walk over here, everything's all nice and even now, up there. It's all supported, so it's not going to fall apart, which is really good. All those little spice details right down there. And if you notice, it looks really nice because I actually include a mirror, right here. Let's just take that off. So that gives that look of a continuation back there, which I like a lot. Too bad you're not going to really see it that much, but if I go from a different angle, see how it looks like it's continuing on for quite a bit? It's that little illusion effect of just having a mirror. That's why I want to incorporate them more. I just wish it was more prominent in this build, but it looks really good so far. If I actually open up the doors right here, so it's not completely disappeared, but it's just not as noticeable. I open the window right now, so it has really good lighting, but this is all going to be covered up, so I actually have to have some pretty decent lights. And I was at Walmart today, well yesterday, I was working, and I was rearranging some lights in the garden center. That's where I work. And I noticed these are solar LED powered. I didn't think they were cool at first, but then I actually opened the box and oh my god, I actually have some amazing idea with these. So at first I didn't think much about it, but then I actually started to play around with it. So this little solar power box right here, you kind of just turn on. Of course it's not going to turn on right now, but as soon as I turn it over, they power up, which is fine. It's not like an actual button. It's, just flipping this upside down so there's no light, which I had a cool idea. Maybe actually keeping this built into the MOC somewhere and having like a little sliding door go right over this. So it would be like this, face the other way. See? So I got 2 of those. I thought it was a great deal since it was like $11 a piece, but with my discount, it's a few dollars off. So I would rather go for this because there's 50 of them right here, so 100 lights in total. Let's say light my bricks, those are extremely expensive. I would never pay that much for 50 count. This is the cheapest alternative that I can think of, because things that are great about these, they do fit perfectly in the axle holes right here. Of course, these ones kind of a little bit loose, so I have to jerry rig something together so they fit in perfectly. But I must say, this is the way to go if you're going for LED lights in a MOC and you just want something installed really fast, because you could wire your own things, but of course that takes time and the knowledge of it, and you don't want it to explode, which is the most important thing, versus just go into a store, buy something really fast, and then just plug it in, That's probably the best way to go if you want the cheapest, fastest alternative. But now I'm done talking about the LED lights. The thing I took off earlier was this little support beam I was working on. I'm still trying to figure out the ins and outs of it, because this is pretty strong, just this, that's pretty strong. But this is way stronger. I just have to put some plates right here and stuff, and fix everything correctly to where the angles right here actually connect. Because if you get these wedge plates, or not wedge plates, these hinges, and then put them like this, it connects quite well. See? So that's my whole technique I'm going to use for this whole section. So let's cut to me actually finishing this whole section off. Next, I'll come back and talk about it. So this is the overall design I came up with. So I realized that going beam straight across won't support the weight correctly. So of course I had to do a nice grid across the whole thing. And I couldn't continue on this grid right here because this angle won't allow these bricks to be right here. Because you notice right here it kind of stops. Versus if I placed it over, 4 more bricks, I just continue on that nice sturdy structure. And these are actually pretty well secure. All these little hinges, every single one of them. This very last one actually, it doesn't need a hinge at all, because I guess it's at the correct angle that it just connects to the stud directly. Which looks really nice. And I also started up the lighting section. So I realized that I can just use that plug strip, or this light strip from over there connected to the bottom section. So I just use the rest of these. So there's 6 right here, and then there's 1 left over. I'm gonna have directional lighting somewhere, and I'll probably have to get that other light strip I just bought and put them 2 right here, and 3 right there, 2 right there, and 2 right there. So that's gonna be another thing I have to do. I think it's well lit so far, at least the bottom section. It has to be pretty dim because that's how it is in the show. I'll pull up a photo But the light box is actually, I'm trying to hide it over here. So you actually flip this over, and then there's a little hatch in there to access the power, which I think is pretty cool. It's nice and hidden, so it's inconspicuous. And the other light strip is actually a solar panel one, so I have to figure out how to incorporate that somewhere over here. But overall, I do say this is pretty well secure. I've, done this a little bit. It's not going to go anywhere, so I'm pretty happy about that. So that brings us to the end of this week's episode. Let's go off to the outro. So that concludes this week's episode of Building 1313. I'm really proud that I actually got this section pretty much complete. All I have to do is plate everything off right now. Because it's one of those tasks that you kind of push off for so long to the point where it's you kind of forget about it. But then as soon as you actually accomplish it, it's you kind of want to just keep on building. So I think that overall hunch of just getting over it, and especially considering that it took a few more months than I would like to. I took a 3-month break because sometimes you have to take a little break off from doing something you really like, otherwise you kind of get burnt out. But next week's episode, I really want to actually get towards building up the front section, at least using up all of the light bluish gray bricks I have so I can see the overall height I can go to, which is going to look really amazing. But that's the end of this week's episode. See you guys next week, and have a great day.